honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect. Those in his gospel abroad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahweh, wherever it may be. Real quick, it's just a quick lesson through the spirit. Title camps have always been around. This controversy in Israel about how all camps are wicked. And camps ain't this, camps ain't that, camps are cultish and all this other stuff. But you got to ask yourself this. Why did it tell you about the company of prophets that came together, or the several men that was in groups, or Jeremiah or Baruch, which Baruch was a scribe for Jeremiah in certain instances? So why would you, how can I say it? Why would you sit up here and not think that was a camp? Okay, because the definition of a camp is just two or more men, or one or more men coming together with a common interest. That's all it is. You see what I'm saying? Now, you do got wicked camps out there. You do have reprobate camps out there. You do. But the camps are put in play to establish order. Okay, because without the camps, there will be no order, because you got a lot of you bandwagon Israelites, so a lot of you guys out there that like to be self-willed, because Jake don't like to be rebuked. You see? So with that being said, camps are very necessary through the spirit. Okay, and we say Great Millstone, in a righteous sense, pride ourselves in a righteous aspect, because pride can be wicked depending on what form you use it in. But we tell you we have 100% truth for what we have for salvation, because that's the truth. Because what scripture we haven't broke down according to the scriptures, man, according to prophecy. You see? So camps were always a thing. Like when you go into the 7 churches, okay, you got the 7 churches of Asia Minor. Those are different churches, man. Those are different camps. Okay? Those are different churches, because you could say church, camp, which church means to call out, goes into the Greek word ecclesiast, which means to call out. Okay, and calling out to what? To the people. Okay? But camps aren't wicked necessarily. They're not. Because just think about this. When a guy come together with another guy, whether he be a Facebook Israelite or an X, Y, and Z Israelite, and they come together and they decide to go in the spirit and do something, that's called a camp, man. So you guys are tripped up over the names of Great Millstone, and in particular what you would consider ABC titles. You get tripped up over that because you don't know anything. But you guys that's not part of these groups, which you don't have to be part of a so-called group in order to get salvation. We don't teach that. But usually you guys that's not part of the particular camps, you guys have no particular you have no structure, you have no order. Your doctrine is all over the place. Okay, you got dreadlocks, you full of tattoos, women in your congregation. Even in times I've seen in the past in different groups or different men, that women went out speaking with them, or women was posted up at camp while the men was out at war. I remember a long time ago I was going to prophesy at a spot I used to go. I was by myself there. I was going out there to prophesy, and it was this group of Jakes out there. I think they prescribed to the Zabak doctrine or Thug or one of them camps. But basically, long story short, you know, I went out there and they was posted up on a foundation on where I teach. And the scriptures say you're not supposed to build on another man's foundation. But anyway, so I go out there, and all of a sudden, these men were teaching, and they had women in the background, man. Okay, but these are the main guys that speak that madness and say, oh, all camps are wickedness. But it was like 4 more brothers out there. That's a camp. Now, just because you don't have a particular name in particular doesn't mean you're not a camp. All right, because people get tripped up on the names, like I said, you know, and I've always made this statement, in the apostles, you know, they've echoed it several times. When all hell break loose and when we get on a chariot, it ain't going to be a GMS, a IUIC. It's going to be the hopeful elect, or the elect. Okay, the elect is getting beamed up on a chariot. It's not IUIC, not GMS, because you're going to have elect from all those groups. But we believe through the spirit that majority of the elect is going to come out of the Great Millstone. Why? Because we're teaching 100% truth. Okay, and we don't care how you people feel about it. Okay, it's just what it is. Okay, take notes and study, pray, fast, ask the Lord to open your understanding, and you start teaching 100% truth. Because you got brothers out here that ain't part of the GMS, but guess what? They're teaching 100% truth. And I know a couple of guys just off the bat. I know 5 guys just off the rip in Kansas City. They're not part of GMS, but they're teaching the doctrine we teach, and they're teaching 100% truth. You see? But nonetheless, going into the time of Maccabees, man, when you wasn't to bow down to the Maccabees because, hey, they had the ordinance of the law, and they was given the cadence at that time through Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai to establish the righteous order back in the nation, okay? Hence in the Maccabean revolt, okay? You had Matthias, you had Judas Maccabeus, you had Simon, okay? These were men that was set up in hierarchy, okay? That was considered a camp. Yahweh Shai and the 12, that was considered a camp. The 70 that followed Yahweh Shai was considered a camp, okay? So you guys, man, you're too superstitious, man. What about when Obadiah had to hide the prophets by 50 in a cave to escape the persecution of Jezebel? Okay, I believe it was 150 men. I believe he hid them in the caves by 50 apiece. And that was a company of prophets. Even though when Samuel, when it says that when the company of prophets came about, and even Saul was among them, prophesied, man, that was a company of prophets, which is a camp. You see? So camps have always been around. All right. This is the book of Shalom, brother. Yahweh Shem Shah Brakathum to you brothers out there. Mark 6-7. It says, and he called unto him the 12, and began to send them forth 2 and 2, and gave them power over unclean spirits. That's right, man. Okay, he sent them out 2 by 2. That's a camp. Okay, so when you divide 2 by 12, you get 6. So that was, hey, that right there, man. 2 men apiece. So what do you? Camps is wicked. Camps is this and this and that. No, you people don't want to be part of the camps because you discipline, man, and you don't want nobody over you. Well, can't nobody tell me that I got to do this. Ain't nobody can tell me I can't get my hair lined up. I want to wear my dreads, then I can't wear dreads in GMS. Well, you damn right you can't, because dreads is a heathenistic custom and it's off according to the scriptures, and we've done several lessons on that. Have dreadlocks, that shit is off, man. Okay, that goes back into the not the goddess Shiva, but I believe not the, what is it, the goddess Kali, if I'm not mistaken. But nonetheless, it's Edomite, not Edomite, but Elamite custom that dealt with druids and worship of snakes, and is very unclean. And that's why we tell you that having dreadlocks is wicked, because when you cut the hair, and if you have dreadlocks and you cut in between, you can see the parasites inside the damn dreads, man. Okay? Because there's no way that that hair can penetrate. You have lice, you have all particular types of illnesses in your hair, man. That's why we tell brothers that dreadlocks is unclean, and it's proven. You know, it's not good for your scalp. Well, Samson had 7 locks. Yeah, he had 7 braids. When you look at braids, they look like locks. Like, you ever seen like padlocks that was hooked onto a chain? If you look at a row of plaits, it represents, instead of like, you ever seen those particular heavy duty chains that they lock certain things up, or you tie trucks down with? They kind of resemble that. Which those particular chains, they're intertwined, they're locked within one another. A shekel of hair, a lock of hair, doesn't mean it's matted or put together. No, that's not what that's talking about. You see? So through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, man, hey, you know, that's why it says, hey, the apostles he sent forth last. Because, you know, it is what it is at this point. If you guys can't get it, then that's on you. And it says, 1 Corinthians 14 and 38, it says, but if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. Wherefore, brethren, covet to prophecy, and forbid not to speak with tongues, and let all things be done decently in order. That's right, brother. Decently in order. And that's the reason why we have groups set up. That's the reason why you have heads of camps. Okay, 2nd in command, 3rd in command. You know, you got your cadets, you got your particular officers and so forth, because it's a ranking system. Even in a wilderness, Jethro told Moses to set up a ranking system, captains of 50 over the particular tribes, captains of this particular number, because for the simple fact, he couldn't do it all by himself. He says the weightier matters you judge. Okay, the lesser matters you give it to your captains. They're gonna take care of that. Okay, which was broken up into different camps, man. All right, so camps are not wicked. Camps are necessary. The prophets always stuck together. Okay, that's why the scriptures say when one fall, you have another to pretty much pick them back up. You know, even Jeremy the prophet, you got Nathan, you got Jeremy, you had David. Okay, you had Samuel. You had different men in the Lord that went out and accompanied other men in their ministry at times. It just wasn't no one-man show. This gospel is too much and too vast for one man to take it all upon himself. This is the reason why You got the apostles, then you got the elder bishops, you got the elders, then you got the, the particular camp heads, which camp heads are elders too, but they're lesser elders because, you got the men that's been in this thing 30 plus years, and it's a ranking system, man, where Yahweh Shai is sitting at the top of the hierarchy, so to speak, and the orders come down from top, and we establish it within our camps, man. Okay, like apostles always say, a lot of times when you got skirmishes between your camp, you handle that. Everything don't need to be brought up to the top if it's something you can handle, but if it's something that's dire, that's something that's jeopardizing safety, then it needs to go up to the top. But even then, within our own respective camps, we handle matters in our own. We take them and we judge them. Why? Because we have the experience. Okay, this brother ain't been showing up to camp. All right, give him a 6-month suspension. And then an order like that you want to bring up to the top because they can call, say, well, what's up with this brother? Well, hey, I had to suspend him because he wasn't walking orderly. He was walking disorderly and he wasn't being circumspect. But even then, that's carried among our camp. Because 9 times out of 10, if a camp leader suspends somebody, it's going to stick because for the simple fact, you know why you suspended him. It's not even a recommendation that he gets suspended. No, he's suspended. And that's why a lot of you jakes, man, you don't want to join the camps because you fucking disorderly, man. Okay, and the camps ain't for everybody. I mean, certain men, they just want to be on their own and do their own thing. That's fine too. But like I said, I quoted the scripture, when one fall, then hey, another is able to pick them up. That's why he sent the prophets out by 2 and 2, man. Which is nothing wrong with the camps. You people just have a matter of opinion on what you feel goes on in them, but you don't know. And a lot of time you get some insight about what's going on in our particular groups is from some disgruntled castaway. Either he fell out the truth, he got kicked out, or it wasn't fit for him. So yeah, he's pretty much trying to pick everybody's dirty laundry. Like, we're all men. We all got dirt on us. We all got shit on us, man, that we've done in the world. I mean, ain't nobody, we all are men that's waking up to be healed completely. That's why Yahweh Shai say, he said, look, I don't come to those that don't need a physician. I come to those that's in need of a physician, man. Those that need to be whole. That's us. So we're not prescribing to be perfect of our own righteousness, because that's not it. Okay, it tells you in Isaiah that our righteousness is as filthy rags, but we will be justified through the power of Yahweh Shai, man, if we continue to push the word and remain faithful. Okay, that reward. But you guys that's on Facebook, or you got your own little groups or whatever, your little chat rooms, you'll find that there's a lot of confusion in those particular groups. This man prescribed to that doctrine, this doctrine. They prescribe to that doctrine. You got guys in there that don't believe the same thing. One guy believed that you can be ET is the aliens. One guy don't believe in chariots. One guy believed the white man is Japhet. The other guy believed that the so-called white man is the Edomite. You can't come together with guys like that. That's confusion. Like the brother text, man, he typed, he said, hey, let all things be done decently in order. Also, going to the book of Romans, the 11th chapter, the 7th verse, okay, or going up to like the verse 5, it basically goes into the 7,000 men that have not bowed to the knee of Baal. Who you think that is? A bunch of Facebook lights, a bunch of dreadhead niggas that still smoke weed, a bunch of men that's teaching, oh, you're not supposed to teach against the white man. Men that's not teaching MOTB. No, man. These are the men you see in your groups out there. And the Lord set up the camps. Go back into the 7 churches of Asia Minor, man. Read that. Those are camps. Those are churches. Because we call our camps, we call them churches, man. You got the KC branch. You got the St. Louis branch. Okay, you got the Chicago branch. You got the California branch. And certain brothers, they got several branches of a particular camp. Like Chicago, they got like 6 different camps because of so many brothers, man. They probably got like 100 brothers total. So you breaking that camp up to 8 different camps within the GMS Chicago branch. Okay, but nonetheless, they're still part of the body, because each camp represents a part of the body if they remain. All right. Salaki, I'm driving too. Clean light linen. Titus 1 and 9. Holding fast the faithful word as ye have been taught, that he may be able with sound doctrine both to exhort and to convince the gainsayers. Okay, and it says here, for there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision. Right, because it be mainly you jakes out there talking shit about the camps. Now, if you don't like the camps, then so be it. Just don't join it. But you ain't got a right to say every brother in these camps are wicked. Now you saying that's not the case. But overall, you can't taint the leadership of a group, or you can't taint the group because you got a few bad apples. Like Nate's camp, that's wicked. You know why? Because it's a lot of wickedness going on in that camp, man. It's a lot of wickedness. It's a lot of false doctrine. It's a lot of just men pleasing and man worshiping in them groups. But I'm not gonna say that there ain't no elect in the IUIC. Same thing for the UPK. I'm not gonna say that there isn't any elect in there, because you better believe that you're gonna have a few men that's sincere in there, that's gonna give among those leaderships, man, and they're gonna follow the Lamb, like the scriptures say. My sheep hear my voice, and they follow the Lamb whatsoever he goes. So you're gonna have men that's gonna break loose from these wicked groups, and they're gonna, you know, do the right thing. Like of the Great Millstone, you got wicked men in GMS, man. We ain't say you didn't have wicked niggas in G. You got wicked men in GMS. They just haven't been revealed yet. And you better believe that the scopeo was on certain men. You know, you're being watched. Okay, you being watched. Even if you don't think you are, you being watched, because hey, we see everything that go down. We might not say anything, but we see shit. I peep shit all the time. You know, but certain things is just out of my jurisdiction to handle. I'm not, it don't really, you know, refer to my particular group, my camp. Then, you know, it ain't really is up to that leader to handle that. But nonetheless, you do see certain flaws in men, which we all have flaws. People can say the same thing about me as well. But regardless of that, we all have flaws, but you can see a man's character through the way he conducts himself, or you know, the way he moves, so to speak. You know, like prime example, one thing that you must have among the brothers is mannerism, man. Okay, manners is a godly thing. You know, being grateful that brothers invite you in, being brotherly. But you just got some niggas that want to eat the chicken first. Fuck y'all, fuck the elders, I want to eat first. Certain men don't shalom you, and we know that men have different spirits, and that's okay. But over the course of time, you'll be able to pick that up. But that's just how that brother is. But even so, you can, you know, a constant trend of disorderly conduct, you know, insubordination, so to speak. Men talking back, which is nothing wrong with giving your opinion. You know, we're men. Let your yay, your nay be nay. But overall, when leadership comes down with an order, who the fuck are you to buck up against and say something against my order that we set up through the spirit? Especially not the head of the fucking camp. Okay, men disorderly, and that's why a lot of men get kicked out, because they don't understand order. Okay, we have order here in Great Millstone. Okay, certain orders may come down, we may don't all agree with it because we're men. Okay, but when we understand the spirit and the dynamic behind it, then we understand it. Okay, because men of understanding and experience over younger men, they can see things that have a more farsight or more of eyesight than we can have. You may not understand why Apostle Tahar said, well, no lineups. Well, for one thing, that's biblical, because it tells you in Leviticus that you're not supposed to mar the corner of your edges of your head or your beard. You're not supposed to line it up, you know, because that's mar goes into simply destroying it. You're not supposed to line your beard up. But, you know, you got certain cats that, you know, they just don't take heed. Like it was one guy a long time ago, you know, and he put a blot on a camp at the point of time. At that time, I'll say, you know, when you got wicked men in your camp, it make you look, it put a blot on you, man, because the scriptures say you want a good name is better than gold. But basically, we had to get his ass up out of here. You know, he was just disorderly. Nigga come to camp with his hair lined up, beard lined up. It just wasn't right in the spirit, to the point the spirit got rid of his ass, man. You know, and that's just where it ends at. So yeah, man, camps are more than just a group of brothers that's coming out screaming and yelling. No, it's order within camps and groups, and you have to understand that. Okay, camps have always been throughout the scriptures, man. Okay, hey, there's SOY, sons of Yahweh Shai, Prince Yanazar. Hey, that brother, hey, he ain't in GMS, but hey, he teach the same doctrine, you know. So he's a one-man camp. If he haven't found another brother, he goes out, we give double honors. If he get another brother that's out with him, then hey, they're a camp, man. It's just that simple. Even if they ain't got a particular name, it's just more than one man going out speaking the word. That's all it is, to simplify it. All right, but it says, let all things be done decently, and especially for younger. Nah, man, I've been alive longer than you. No, you nigga, you was still in your mama's womb when I was out doing my dirt. Look, man, the scriptures say you ain't supposed to write off for men of younger age, man. Okay, because even out of King David, out of his 7 brothers, he wasn't even considered to be the king. They didn't even, because his father didn't even consider him. And yet David was an elder over all his brothers, man. See how that works? Lord always dealt with the younger. Same thing with Jacob. All right. Same thing with Ephraim and Manasseh. The younger one got the greater blessing because the Lord deals with the underdog. All right. But anyway, though, brothers, man, I'm going to end it there. Giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. I was getting a little crowded on this highway, so I better focus more. And with that, Shalom, Lord, where you were edified. Shalom and the Baba Shalom.